Hi Leo, thank you for coming back if you watched January. And if you are a newcomer, then welcome to my channel. My name is Morgane, and I'm happy to do your reading for February 2018. Sun, Moon, and Rising of Leo, or maybe you're cross-watching because you are curious about a Leo in your life. Also good. I love Leos. The ones in my life anyway. Generosity, warmth. You know, they have this wrong stigma. Allegedly, they're only focused on themselves. But mind you, the king of the forest cares for everybody in his forest, hers. And my Leos, even if they can be in themselves sometimes, when there's a real need, something important, they're there. They're just there for you. You can trust them. They're like Taurus in that way of, you know, they're loyal to their clan. And I really, really appreciate that. I do, Leo. I appreciate you. February. For my kings and my queens of the jungle. Please, Tarot, Universe, Spirit, give me clear guidance and sight into the month of February for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. You are also much more patient than sometimes people give you credit for. You understand the value of building something. You do. And you're willing to give a lot of yourself for that process. Which is why you were patient with me. Thank you for being patient while I was mixing the cards. I don't want to do it outside of the camera. I want you to see the process that I'm going through. The card fell. The Queen of Cups. She has been popping up in many of the readings for February. You can see her in several videos. It's going inward, taking risks that come from passion and from acknowledging your inner truth. You know, connection to your deepest emotions and acknowledging them. She's very deep. She's not afraid to discover her most inner truths, places that most people are scared to go to within their psyche. She's there, and she watches over it with honor. She analyzes it. She understands it. She accepts it. She honors it, whether it's negative or positive. For her, if it's inside of me, if it is my truth, whether it's dark or light, I still acknowledge it and honor it because it's part of my essence and it's part of life. She's not afraid to sacrifice for the truth. She's not afraid to express her emotions. Very deep, very passionate, very intuitive. She can be a healer. She represents Scorpio in the month of November and the number 11. But that's just semantics. It doesn't have to be. Just take her energy. But let's see who she's coming with. Clarify the Queen of Cups for Leo for February, please. And show me the rest of the story for this month. Happy Valentine's Day, by the way. It's a very sexual card. It can speak about, flares and romances and flirts. But let's see. Let's see where this is taking us. Leo, February. This one wants out. Okay. Not enough. I need more to see the connection. Too many cards fell. Okay. I'm going to use just one that fell a little further from the rest. I'm going to address these three and then we'll move on. So this card here is very aware of their emotions. This card here is really protective and holding back on their heart. They don't want to get hurt. This one is not afraid of getting hurt. This one is terrified of getting hurt to the point of ignoring reality, putting up the swords, the defenses, blindfolded. No, I don't want to know. I don't want to hear it. Can't handle it. The Death card, major change. There is a change going on around you because both of them can symbolize speak of the symbolism of death, of change, and of going deep and acknowledging the truth and being brave enough to operate accordingly and to step into a new life, leaving the past behind. And both of them that symbolize the same thing are with their back to this character here that just refuses to see or to hear, that just can't handle. There's a sense of so many things going on, so many truth and emotion is around you and in you, and it's almost like it's too much to handle, too much to take. It hurts, it scares you, or someone relevant that we are thinking about. You just want everything to be quiet and still, like the water in the background, but it's not. The water here, they're stirring, and so there's waterfalls here. The emotion, there's emotion, there's flow, there's stir, there's cycles, things are turning around. Stomach is turning upside down. Everything is happening inside of you and outside of you, and you're like, I don't want, no, I'm scared, I can't. But yes, you can. You don't have a choice. You don't have a choice. It's here. And it's going towards something new and better. It's not a scary card. People who don't read tarot, who are not familiar, maybe this is new for you, maybe you're like new to this world. The Death card speaks about symbolic death, change, leaving the past behind and going into something completely brand new. It's not a bad thing. It's actually really exciting and inspiring. This could be an amazing card if you don't fight it. If you fight it, and both of them represent that, just what I just said. But there's a sense of something is being left behind, leaving something, leaving someone, leaving an aspect of yourself that has this sense. And this reminds me of a story, an analogy that I've given in another video. I don't remember for which zodiac, but it's about the stone that being thrown into the water. Someone maybe has expressed their heart or their emotion, because that's what the Queen of Cups does. And the rock that was thrown into the water has kind of made waves. A certain event, a certain realization, a certain truth has made waves in your life. But you just want this stillness, this quiet. And then, that's what happens when a stone is cast into the water. At first there's wave, but then everything calms down and then the water is back to being still. But guess what? The rock is still inside of it. It's just an illusion that everything is back to normal, but nothing is back to normal and everything is different in truth under the surface. The surface allegedly calm, but it's denial, it's deceit, self-deceit. The truth is still in there, inside the waters, inside your stomach. And you keep trying to ignore it, or someone is trying to ignore it because they just want this quiet, this stillness. But it will. The next card after the Two of Swords is the Three of Swords. It's the heartache. It's the failure. And you can either let it go there because you refuse to handle it, to dive into the water, take out the stone, analyze it, respond to it, acknowledge it. Or you can just sit there in denial, not hearing, not seeing, not feeling. But guess what? You can't do that because this dude comes along and like, nope, I'm going to stir the waters again. I'm going to kill what doesn't work. I'm going to revive what should work. I'm hoping that it's you that is waking up of the stagnation, analysis paralysis. But if it's not you, it will be forced on you by the universe. Because there's a sense of truth here that you cannot ignore. You cannot. And this is something that is repetitive in all the zodiacs for everyone right now. It's an energy right now for everyone that we cannot afford to ignore the truth anymore. We cannot stay in denial. We cannot fear ourselves and our destiny. And during January, a lot of us had the truth thrown at us. You'd say a rock was thrown into our waters. And it stirred everything up. And we just want quiet and peace. And we think that maybe if we'll ignore it, maybe if we won't address it, it will go away. But no, the stone is there. The truth is there. It changed everything. The surface of the water will never be the same again. Everything is constantly changing and flowing. Even your own skin. You are shedding old skin and renewing your new skin all the time. 10 years ago, nothing that is on you right now that is a part of you has existed. Everything has shifted. The molecules renewed themselves. The atoms renewed themselves. It's just biology. But we're still here, right? The only constant is change. So either this sense of denial is being left behind, or someone who's behaving this way is being left behind, and they're gonna wake up alone and sad without these majestic, powerful characters. And also there's a sense of separation here. You're separated with someone and you can't handle it, so you're in denial, you're holding on. Or you're supposed to be separating from someone, you don't want to go there even though you feel like it's the truth. It's hard, I understand. I'm not judging, Leo. I'm just expressing what is, calling a spade, and it's yours to handle. But let's keep going, okay? This is just a representative of what is going on with partial advice, aka wake up and smell the change. But I want to have something, give you something proactive and productive. Okay, great, good. All of this leads to this. All of this leads to an understanding, a very deep understanding of who and what you are, how everything needs to be. The universe supports you with giving you opportunities, an event. Everything is just going to work out. If you'll just, acknowledge how things are right now. And you can't fix what you don't acknowledge, right? So if you ignore the problem, it will stay a problem. But if you face the equation, then you can solve it. And this is like the answer just suddenly coming to you. And then everything is clear. Let's see what else. Okay. And there's a lot of water here, a lot of emotions, a lot of confusion, a lot of things stirring up. But then suddenly comes the pentacle, the ace of pentacles, the embodiment of the element of earth, which holds the water, which gives it a frame and a floor and something to to rely on, to flow upon. So balance is coming. It also can represent you guys trying to balance a lot of dualities, a lot of changes, a lot of black and white, good and bad, different types of emotions. And you guys are just like, okay, I need to not feel and just think about it and try to balance everything. a little bit more for the month of February for Leo. I'd like to conclude. Your cards, show me more clarifications and narrative for Leo for the month of February. Happy Valentine's! For those of you who are in a relationship. Many of you are in love, that's for sure. There's a lot of emotions going on here. And a refusal to let go. You have to let go in order for it to be clear. Whether this is your person or this is not your person, either way, acknowledging that there's shifts and there's changes, that is what will lead you to the answer. But staying stagnant will just keep you stuck. For both of you. Okay. February, Leo. I keep getting an almost, like cards are almost falling. Okay. Oh. 4. All right, we can do this. We can do this. So there's a sense of being caught up in your own mind. Overthinking, again, analysis paralysis, where, you know, you're in solitude. It doesn't matter even if there's a lot of people around you, you still feel alone. You're kind of going in to look into your own light, to discover your own inner truth. You're not always happy with what you're finding out. So it keeps going back and forth from denial to truth, from denial to truth. But you're going through a major process, and I'm proud of you because it's not easy. Good news are, it's happening, the change, the release. This is being, feeling stuck and locked in a situation and locked in your own mind. She has her eyes blindfolded. She has her eyes blindfolded. But both of them, they are allowing themselves to go deep and understand what this is exactly and handling it. They are taking their time. They're patient with themselves and with their journey. And that leads to freedom. There's a sense of a complete renewal. Brand new start. Here the eyes are closed. His eyes are closed here, but it's because his light is inside. He's looking inside. This is a symbolic light for what is inside of him. The hermit is really patient, is really solitary. So is the Queen of Cups in a way, especially if she comes with the hermit. And then suddenly this brand new energy, I think from mid-month and on, from Valentine's Day, from the new moon, of that's it. I've made my analyzing. I've made my peace with things. I have my understanding. I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to have this new start. And then this comes. We have the Ace of Pentacles and we have the Empress, which is so much abundance and wealth and connection and feeling a sense of belonging. These guys don't know where they belong to. They're lost. But these two, it's such a strong connection to Earth and to yourself. It's like you've done the work. You weren't afraid to dive into the truth and to make changes accordingly. And here you are, getting all the rewards. So good, we have a happy ending. A sense of crazy liberation. It's going to be an almost like feeling like a new life, completely different than how you've been feeling so far. This is all so heavy, and you're feeling alone and contemplating and so much inner work. I'm so proud of you. It's not easy. And then you're just releasing yourself from all these swords and all this overthinking. And then you're just setting yourself free with no fear of consequence. These two are so scared of the consequence. They keep themselves locked. But these two just don't care. It's like, oh, I know the truth next. And this is what it leads to. Okay? It's like you are literally reborn. But not to something completely different. Just, this is... she's one step above her. She did the work. Now she's become a goddess. From an amazing mortal queen, she's turning into this amazing goddess. Right? She's the queen of her own element. She's the queen of life, of all the elements. The Empress. And it's tangible. It's not just in philosophy. It's not just in an idea. It's not just in your inner world. It's in reality. You have the things that you want to have. You've been working really, really well. You're very creative, very capable. And now you're being really appreciated. And suddenly the energy is completely open and everybody sees you for the magic that you are. Here you were so hidden. You were still magical and wise and intense and truthful and magnetic. But you were hidden, you were hiding yourself. And here suddenly there's like this... What a beautiful shift. And you've earned it, from real spiritual, emotional, wise work. So much wisdom in here. So much wisdom in here. These two are some of probably two of the wisest cards in the deck. The Hermit is wise in your face. He's like the old man that knows everything, very knowledgeable. The Fool, he's the truth-telling trickster. He's the court jester. The one that says everything that everyone else is afraid to say. But he says it with a smile and a laugh and a giggle, so you're not really sure if he meant to say it or maybe it was an accident. That's just his trick. That allows him to say all the truth and not get hurt. He's the one that knows everything, but doesn't have the ego, that kind of forces him to show everyone how much he knows. He's just free of ego, free of what everybody thinks of him. He just follows his truth, follows the truth. I'm also seeing a partnership that felt lonely. Each was in his own world. And then suddenly, either a change in the partnership or the partnership ends and then it leads, the death card, the change, it leads to a new partnership that is so bright and lighted and just creative and just remanifesting life. They generate energy within each other. And look how beautiful. This is the 13. So I have 1, 3, 1, 3. 13 and 13. 13 is change. It's life. It's death that reminds us to live. The 0 is the everything and the nothing. There's a beautiful cycle that when you overthink about it, it seems very, very scary. But if you just let go and allow it to happen, you see that it's actually really, really calm and almost easy. And you're like, why did I not just let it be? And I love that the Fool came out because I'm drinking coffee from a cup from a coffee shop called Matto, Espresso Matto. And I sit there all the time, and I suddenly noticed that on their papers and on their cups, they have this drawing. And I'm like, that looks like the Fool, because it has all the elements of the Fool in the classic tarot deck. There's the Wanderer, and he's holding a wand and a little bag, and he has the animal. Sometimes it's a doggy, sometimes it's a cat. But, it's the same symbolism every time with the Fool, with the Joker, with the gesture. And I'm like, is that a tarot card? I was like, no, why wouldn't it's weird? Probably a coincidental. But then I was like, I was still curious. I didn't let it go. I Googled Matto, and then in Italian, Matto is the crazy one, aka the Fool. So I'm like, okay, this is for sure intentional. Now, they're not advertised as if, any connection to tarot cards, but it is the Fool. I saved the cup. Well, I'm a tarot reader. I think it's magical that I find myself in the same coffee shop all the time. It's my favorite place that I might go to. And then there's a tarot card there. And they're named after a tarot card. Serendipity, synchronicity. That's life for you if you just allow it. If you just allow it to present itself in front of you. There's so much magic. There's a phrase that is so beautiful. It says, magic is indeed all in your head, but your head is a hell of a lot bigger than you know. Our head is a microcosmos of the universe, like Orion's belt in Men in Black. Remember that movie? There was this cat. He had a belt with this circle, and inside of it was the universe. And that's your brain, honey. That's our brain. There's so much that we don't know about our brain yet. What we managed to study, 10% of it. If this is what we have in the 10%, all this knowledge, what is hiding in the remaining percentage? The most of it, the majority of it. Don't catch me by my word. Maybe it's 9%, maybe it's 13%. I don't know. I'm not a neurologist, and I'm not up to date exactly of how much we managed to learn about the human mind. But most of it, we don't know nothing about. That I can say in certainty. Most of it, we don't know anything about. So everything that you know and everything that you don't know, everything that you can imagine and everything that you can't imagine is right there inside that head. You just need to allow it to wake up. Find the connections. Find the serendipity. Find the magic. It's everywhere. I'm telling you, it's everywhere. If you don't believe in it, you won't see it. You won't. I'm going to ask for one last message from the Divine Circus Oracle. It's a beautiful deck by Alana Fairchild that I've been giving one message for each zodiac in the past month for February. And so far, it's been concluding every single reading in such a perfect way. It's amazing. So, Divine Circus, please give us a message for Leo for February to conclude our reading. One card for Leo for February. We got it. Supernova. I don't remember what it means. I just got this deck. I'm still studying it. It's not the classic tarot deck, but we are going to read from the book. Okay? Alright, Leo. Sun, moon, and rising, or anyone who's watching. If it speaks to you, it speaks to you. That's all that matters. Okay? Okay. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna show you the card so you can look at it, and I'm gonna read from the book. Something in you needs to be unleashed. This is not quiet and steady growth, but more like a wild explosion of creative energy and sacred fire. Woo. The sparks your rapid growth will create shall ignite your body, mind, and soul, inspiring you to expand even beyond what you believe is possible. Your light will shine far and wide. You cannot control it, but you can trust it. A rocket is capable of traveling far and with great power and speed before settling into an effortless orbit far beyond the world in which it began its journey. To launch, however, requires power. A quiet and contained power is not appropriate for the task. A raw and explosive force is needed to propel the rocket from the known world of Earth towards its destined orbit in space. The Oracle of Supernova indicates a time of rapid growth so accelerated and powerful that it can feel like an explosion, as if you were the rocket being launched into space. It tends to be of high intensity but short duration. Whilst this is a positive thing, it can cause shock waves and disrupting patterns and create feelings of instability. You remember the beginning of the reading? So many changes, so many truths that you just don't want to handle because they're making you feel unstable. Create feelings of instability and even uncertainty as your world starts to change in ways you don't feel are within your personal control. You may feel like there is a powerful momentum moving you out of what your life has been towards some new unknown destiny. As it moves from the dramatic force of the launch towards the eventual peace of an effortless orbit, the rocket will jettison the very thing needed to get the journey started. This isn't about disposing of the essentials, the people and things that really mean something to your heart, but rather about letting go of old attitudes, ideas, ways of being, and attachments to allow for utter freedom to ascend. After the intensity of the birth, the effortless of your orbit into a new world will require a different attitude. So far it resonates. What you need to begin your journey, to start a new venture or lifestyle, will be different to what is required to continue on your life journey. You need to trust in what is happening at all points on your journey. Don't hold on to a support system, belief system, or way of being out of fear. Sometimes it's just time to let it go because it's not relevant for your journey anymore. If you try to hold on, you will actually just be holding yourself back. When the time comes to let go, you'll feel it. People or situations will not be able to reach you or you them, even if you are making an effort to try and stay connected. Previous support systems and connections won't be able to support you anymore on the next steps of your journey. It's like they are training wheels that are no longer needed. They would just get in the way. So you have gratitude for what was, and with love you let it go. The Oracle of Supernova reminds you that after the intensity of the birth, there is another birth of sorts, the settling into a new pattern of life at a higher altitude, with more peace, effortlessness, and consciousness. Each phase happens naturally, and you will feel when and how to respond to each phase in your life as you trust yourself. A healing trick. Wow, that was amazing and really, really resonating with the reading. That's awesome. My supernova soul expands into brilliant life. I surrender completely and allow the loving hand of the universe to hold me safe during my rapid expansion into the next phase of my divine destiny. I relax into the process and all unfolds beautifully. Another affirmation. Love erupts through me in an explosive way of sound and light. Peace is created as the way is cleared for my true and immediate success. That's the Death card with the Fool for you. That leads to the Ace of Pentacles and the Empress. Yep, sounds pretty accurate. Awesome, Leo. Good job. You can do this. I got you. I hope to see you again in March. Subscribe, like, comment. You know, it helps me know that I'm doing something right and that you want me to keep going. So, you know, press that button so I will keep going if it resonated. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you next month. Happy February. Happy Valentine's Day. Love you. Bye.